Hey guys, JCC2224 here, very happy to finally show you every single 212th clone trooper ever made in the Hasbro Star Wars 3 3/4 inch scale. Now I really want to thank OfficalOpinion for selling me the Mission Series 212th, because I needed it for this video, and I finally have it. Just off the bat, I do want to say that this video will not include specialized troopers, no airbornes, no jetpack troopers, no commanders, no captains, lieutenants, whatever. None of those kind of characters, no named characters, just the standard clone troopers from both of the Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. There haven't been that many, but there's still been quite a few. I'd say it's probably on par with what we got with the 501st Troopers. So let's take a look at the Phase 1s first. Released back in 2008 in a 5-pack with 4 of this guy and 1 Obi-Wan Kenobi, this Phase 1 Clone Wars 212th Clone Trooper is pretty nice. One thing I do want to point out, though, you see that? Yeah, this mold really suffers from yellowing. I got this figure used already, so, yeah, I probably should get a new one. I actually do have 2 of this, and the other one is even in worse condition than this. But, yeah, this is the old 2008 Clone Wars Clone Trooper. Has a lot of articulation, as you can see. It's pretty posable. Really nice figure overall. I do like this helmet design. It's a little more with what you actually see in the cartoon. However, a part of me does prefer the second helmet design, and might as well get on to that. This is the 2009 212th Clone Trooper, and it's pretty much the exact same thing. You can see that the coloring on the striping is slightly different, but it's pretty much the same striping. What's that? What's that? Can I scrape that off? Well, that was weird. Anyways, yes, you can see he has a brand new helmet sculpt. This was introduced in 2009. Actually, this is the very first figure to use it. And I really do like this sculpt. You can see it's just got a little bit more of an elongated look to it. It's a little more sharp and fierce. I don't know, I just kind of prefer this. I don't really think it's more accurate to the cartoon, but it's a different look, and I do like it. Next Clone Trooper is very close to my heart. This is the original 2006 Saga Collection 212th. This is my very first 212th action figure I ever had, this exact one. And this is actually the very first 212th Clone Trooper they ever made. Yeah, they actually didn't make one back in 2005. It was a year after Revenge of the Sith was released. That's pretty weird. But yeah, as you can see, it has a lot of nice paint on it, a lot of weathering and scarring and damage. One way I can actually tell that this is my very first, you can see that the black is actually not painted in on that little part of the helmet right there. It's just like the silver, and it's kind of dulled out. That's really weird, but yeah, this was my very first one, and I really do love it. Now, there was actually a slight running change with this figure, and I actually want to show that. This is my original one. This is a different one. As you can see, in the standard positions on the neck, this one is just a little longer. That's really weird, right? Also, look at these helmets and compare it to this. You can see this helmet almost looks like a completely different sculpt. It's really weird how these helmets, all 3 of them, really differ in appearance, and it's the exact same figure. It's really weird how that happens, but still, I love this figure to death. I only have 7 of it. I actually do really want more of this guy. It's actually kind of expensive, though. It's around $12 just for one of these. Sheesh. Next up, we have the Routine Valor 212th. This is probably one of my favorites. Now, this was released in a comic pack along with a 212th Clone Lieutenant that will not be shown in this video. Yeah. Talking about expensive, even though that's only $12, that's still a little high. This thing is pretty pricey. I think I saw on eBay it was around like 40 or something. Yeah, this comic pack, along with the 41st Elite equivalent comic pack, are very rare. And this is probably the rarest 212th Trooper that I'm showing you here today. It's the exact same mold as that one, the same articulations with the ball hinges and the, swivels at the wrists and all that. But it's more clean. It does have some weathering on the orange parts of the armor, but it has no black weathering. And you can see the angle of the arrow on his forehead there is not as sharp as this one. Really odd, but I really do enjoy this guy. It's probably one of my favorites, and unfortunately, probably one that most people will never own. Next up, we have the Vintage Collection 212th, and yeah, you can see his helmet's a little yellowed, and that's not just mine. This is a pretty common issue with this figure. For some reason, just the helmet slightly yellows, just to the point of being slightly noticeable compared to the very nice white crisp body. Really weird, but hey, whatever. I actually do like this figure. I like the mold. It's more proportionate. It's a very nice figure. The helmet's a little big, but it's proportionate to the rest of the body, so I can forgive it. It does have a removable helmet, and you can see Tamora Morrison underneath. I do enjoy that. And overall, the articulation's really good. Nice outward at the legs. You can really get them spread out and just in nice poses. I really like the paint on it. It's very nice and clean. This is one of the first clean 212th figures, but it's still really nice. If you know me, you know my issues with this mold. I think it's really disproportionate. It's not chunky in the body. It's very lean. The helmet is huge. It does have that same weird head that's not even Tamora Morrison. The articulation, it's decent, like in the legs and all that, but his hands, as you can see, can barely hold his weapons. And it's a bit of a hassle. It's not really a fun figure to pose around. This was released with the Build-A-Droid Amazon exclusive set. I got that whole set for $15 when no one was buying it. And yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's a 212th, but it's probably my least favorite of the articulated ones. Finally, we have the 5 POA 212th Clone Trooper, kindly sold to me by Official Opinion. Thank you again, I really do appreciate it. And yeah, it's actually, for what it is, not that bad. I mean, the paint's nice and crisp, it's very nice and clean, they didn't really miss any deco anywhere. It's just a pretty decent figure. They didn't paint the gray on the helmet, on the brow, well, the back brow, I should call it. But other than that, it's fairly painted. I'm not really complaining too much about how it looks. The helmet's a little weird, but the articulation is just... yeah, he can't do anything. He can point his gun unnaturally. He can turn his head. Only thing he can do is just really stand there and turn his head. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's my problem with 5POA. They're just not in dynamic poses, and they just don't look good on the shelf. But yeah, it's a 212th. If you want it, go get it. It was, it was in the Mission series. Back when it was like $10 for 2 of them. Now it's almost $10 for 1. Jeesh. So there you go, guys, the long awaited every 212th Clone Trooper figure ever video. Really hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at these guys as much as I did. I really love 212th clones. They're easily my favorite Phase 2 Clone Trooper design. I love them to death. And I really do enjoy these figures, even though I do have my issues with some of them, they're generally pretty nice. It's a pretty solid collection we have here. Expect the other Clone Troopers I decided to omit from this video in a separate video. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my Facebook and Instagram pages if you have a chance. Have a good day, guys, and as always, may the Force be with you. Bye.